Hey, we're back with Ruth. Let's pause, scratch that, let's try it. Hey, we're back with Ruth, and today we are doing chapter 4, verses 9 through 13. And if you remember where we left off, Mr. So-and-so decided not to take Ruth and Naomi because the cost was just too high, giving Boaz the perfect opportunity to claim them as the next kinsman redeemer. And in verse 9, it says, Then Boaz said to the elders and the people, You are my witnesses today that I have bought from the hand of Naomi all that belonged to Elimelech and all that belonged to Chilion and Mahlon. Furthermore, I have acquired Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of Mahlon, to be my wife in order to raise up the name of the deceased on his inheritance, so that the name of the deceased will not be eliminated from his brothers or from the court of his birthplace. You are all witnesses today, just as we have been talking about the role of the kinsman redeemer. Verse 11, And all the people who were in the court and the elders said, We are witnesses. May the Lord make the woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah. This is important because Rachel and Leah were Israelites. They were part of the start of the Israel nation. And they are saying, May Ruth the Moabitess be like them. This is huge because both of whom built the house of Israel, and may you achieve wealth in Ephrathah and become famous in Bethlehem. Moreover, may your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah through the descendants, whom the Lord will give you by this young woman. They are celebrating the town, the elders of the town. Remember, he is still sitting at the court where all the main elders, those that ruled this city, sat, and they are celebrating him because he is choosing to take Ruth and Naomi as his own. Where Mr. So-and-so let go of his inheritance for the safer option, we're going to see that Boaz is actually looking at these women and saying, I don't want to let go of my inheritance. I believe that God can bless me by choosing the right path. And the men in the town are already blessing him. And by the way, Ruth has now been grandfathered into the children of God. She is now considered an Israelite herself at this moment, and this is huge. This is full restoration. This is where the redeeming nature takes place, where somebody sacrificed. Yes, Boaz sacrificed his own money, his own, what could have been his own prestige, because he found her worth it. And I look at that and I have to tell you, my friends, that a sacrifice has been made on your part because you were found worthy, that we are grandfathered in to the family of God. And that is so exciting to me. Verse 13 says, So Boaz took Ruth and she became his wife, and he had relations with her, and the Lord enabled her to conceive, and she gave birth to a son. We could easily look at this and say, okay, yeah, that's what happens, right? But let's remember that Ruth had been with Naomi's other son, her previous husband, Ruth's previous husband, for 10 years and couldn't conceive any children. You see, sometimes we have to understand that God has his timing, because the moment God said, yes, it's right now, like this is when I'm ready for it to happen, is the moment that it happens. And being able to sit back and trust in the Lord no matter what he's doing, no matter the painful seasons that we're going through, and going, Lord, your perfect timing. And this was the perfect timing for Ruth. And I want to stop there. We're going to keep the devotion short today because for some of us, that's what we simply need to hear. We're going through some hard times and we don't understand. Perhaps we're sitting in Ruth's stage where she couldn't conceive a child for 10 years. We're sitting in the stage where she's lost a husband. We're sitting in a stage where her future looks hopeless. But God was not done writing the story. And maybe that's all you need to hear today. God is not done writing your story. If there's breath in your lungs, then God has a plan for your life. And I promise you, the scriptures are clear that God will honor the desires of our heart as long as we surrender those desires over to him, allow him to have control over that heart. Maybe that may be changing those desires a little bit as we surrender over to him. He has done that in my own life, but I will tell you there is still fulfillment in that because he is in control. God is not done, and he is still writing the story. We have a couple more verses to go in chapter 4, and you're not going to want to miss it, as God has redemption in store, not just for Ruth, but next for Naomi. But that's for our next devotion. We love you guys. God is not done with you.